Good morning, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank you all for your assistance and the Beauty Cluster for organizing these Innovation Days. Recently, I listened to a well-known psychiatrist who spoke about how COVID-19 has affected us this year. He gave some data that caught my attention. For example, that addition to video games, social network, and television has increased its use by 70%. He talked also about the positive part, how we are learning a lot about new applications, such as this one, Zoom, Teams, to be connected. But also he explained that this was also negatively affecting our health. And among other things, it was affecting our skin. Therefore, the product that I present to you today is Cobiodefender EMR. The first active ingredient focused in reducing the biological disorder resulting from the impact of digital aging. Well, what does the term electropollution or electrosmog mean? Electromagnetic waves are a form of energy consisting in vibration of electrical and magnetic fields. We live in an invisible sea of electronic pollution that interferes with cellular communications, which is becoming toxic to our health. We don't see or perceive it, but we are constantly exposed to magnetic fields generated by appliance and domestic electrical installation, such as smartphones, Wi-Fi's, microwaves, televisions, computers, etc. In addition, it is important to also talk about blue light. Until now, many studies have been done on UV light, but very few on blue light emitted by screens of computers, tablets, televisions, smartphones, etc. Blue light, or high energy visible light, penetrates to the deepest layers of our skin, to the epidermis, deeper even than UV light. Several recent studies have shown that this light can generate oxidative stress, inflammation, and premature aging. It is considered to be the responsible of approximately 50% of skin aging, and sunscreen filters cannot protect us against it. To get an idea of the damage that this can cause, Unilever made a recently study providing that 5 working days on a phone or laptop can have the same impact on the skin as spending 25 minutes in midday sun without any protection. Nowadays, the claim of blue light in cosmetics is being a boom, but we cannot lose sight of the protection against electromagnetic radiation, even more now, with the starting of 5G, the 5th generation of technology. The arrival of 5G will be a big step in technology, which will also update cosmetic industry. The digitization of our walls means that our cells are exposed to a continuous increased levels of radiation, for which they are not adapted. In the last decade, electromagnetic radiation levels have increased dramatically, and we are starting to realize its negative consequence. So how could this affect to our skin? There is a relationship between oxidative stress, electromagnetic radiation, and blue light. Both are environment stress factor, and skin as physiological barrier is the first objective of this radiation, generating several biological disorders, as massive increase in free radical production or pro-inflammatory cytokines, genes transcription modification, decrease in cell regenerations, reduction in structural proteins, loss in cohesion between keratinocytes, and transepidermal water loss increase. Dehydration, the skin becomes more vulnerable and sensitive. Sometimes when we are several hours in front of a computer, we feel our skin really dry. But we have Cobiodefender EMR. It is the first active ingredient focused on reducing the biological skin disorder resulting from the impact of digital aging and 3C aging. It is a concentrated solution of purified marine glycogen ready to use in cosmetics products. Glycogen is a combination of glucose molecules, and it is one of the main energy sources for the cell's activities. It plays a very important role at the metabolism of the cells. Glycogen has different functions at dermal levels. It plays a key role in the defense of an epidermal repair. It acts as anti-stress agent, is the central element of epidermic cells' energy metabolisms. Glycogen also reduces LDH levels, a type of enzymes released by cells when they are exposed to stress factors such as blue light or electromagnetic radiation. And this release of these enzymes is directly proportional to cells damage. Okay, what was the goal of this study? Evaluate how Cobiodefender protects against the damage produced by electromagnetic radiation and blue light. All these in vivo and ex vivo studies were carried out. Two different platforms were used, human keratinocytes cells and reconstructed human epidermis. Both platforms were exposed to 6 hours of electromagnetic radiation generated by a mobile phone. All parameters were measured, treatment versus untreated, control with and without irradiation. Untreated samples were cultivated with 3% Cobiodefender EMR. The first measure was the production of frost. In this graph, we can see that when the culture is subjected to electronic radiation, the production of frost was increased by 34%. But when we do it in the presence of Cobiodefender, the production of frost decreased to the basal levels, indicating the protective effect of the active ingredient. In the second graph, we see the massive production of ATP. Having ATP in cell is good because we know that this is the cellular energy. However, when the cell releases very high levels of ATP, it is symptoms of cellular suffering, and it can produce apoptosis. In this graph, we can see how electromagnetic radiation triggers a massive ATP production and how in the presence of the Cobiodefender, this massive production is reduced to a 60%, indicating a protective effect. Next, we are going to see how Cobiodefender protects the cells against apoptosis. In this slide, we have two cell cultures without irradiation, with and without Cobiodefender. Cells stained blue are living cells, and cells stained in green are dead or apoptotic cells. Let's see what happens when they are irradiated. I think this is amazing. In the control, a great increase in apoptotic cells is observed. However, when treated with Cobiodefender, the amount of apoptotic cells has not increased with the irradiation. The next ex vivo test was run in reconstructed human epidermis. It can be observed how after only 6 hours of radiation in the irradiated control, there is an increase of desquamation on the stratum corneum, and how at the skin treated with Cobiodefender, this desquamation is not observed, and the stratum corneum appears compacted and well stratified despite the irradiation. And the last one is the protective effect against the blue light stress. Keratinocytes were exposed to blue light for 20 minutes. This representation shows how blue light triggers rose production and how treatment with Cobiodefender counteracted this damaging effect, minus 27%. This active ingredient has also shown epigenetic activity that also supported some of the tests that we have just seen. The epigenetic is the study of the mechanisms involved in the regulation of the gene activity without altering the sequence. There is a very long topic that cannot be explained in such short time. But if someone is interested in this information, I will be happy to send it and to explain it to you. To finish my presentation, here are some suggestions to be used as marketing claims, like electromagnetic and 5G protection, blue light protection, epigenetic activity DNA protection, cell energizing, skin anti-stress, and 3C protection, communication devices, computers, and city. Cobiodefender is an ingredient which fits with our way of living. E-pollution, even though invisible, is damaging our skin, as we showed in the presentation. We have to provide our customer with solutions offering innovation products like this ingredient, Cobiodefender EMR. Thank you very much for your attention. And if you need more information, please contact me in this email. And if you have any question, I will be glad to answer you. Thank you very much.